Hello, this is Brian again. Let's fix this up a little bit here. So I'm on the Weir Trail going back towards Doane Pond. That's about, well, at the junction, it's about 8/10 of a mile. Right here, from here, it's probably closer to 0.7 because I've gone up a little bit. See, it looks like a lot of white fir seedlings all over the forest floor. Whole gang of them. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Well, part of what I was talking about earlier. Well, exactly what I was talking about earlier. Over there, those are all incense-cedar saplings. Over here, white fir saplings. White firs and incense cedars are very prolific trees. Very fertile trees too. Look at this. This is what I've talked about in other videos from the past about come to Palomar and see carpets of cedars. There's another trail called the Baptist Trail. That leads over to the Christian Conference Center Road and the Cedar Grove Group Camp. I guess it's just under 3/4 of a mile from there. So I'm staying on the Weir Trail. Never actually been on the Baptist Trail before. Heard of it, but never taken it. So, like I said before, forest composition is changing back to primarily incense cedar and white fir with respect to the conifers, and of course canyon live oak, black oak, occasional coast live oak. You gotta expect that. It's Palomar, they're everywhere. But we're more on a north-facing slope, so that's why we're past the meadow over there. This is why we're getting lush again, because we're on a north-facing slope, like when we were coming down from Doane Pond. And since the fire suppression's been so crazy here, we go back to white fir and incense cedar being the main conifers, with some pretty large black oaks, some large canyon live oaks, and again an occasional coast live oak to punctuate the landscape. So haven't hiked any peaks today. Don't know if I'm going to. I was almost going to consider a hike up to Boocher Hill. Again, B-O-U-C-H-E-R. Most people pronounce it Boucher or Boucher or Boucher, but from what I understand, it's pronounced Boocher. It's a fire lookout up there. Of course, during this coronavirus business, they're not going to be letting visitors in there. I don't know how many Forest Service towers are actually allowing people inside. I'd be surprised if really none of them are.
Hello. Oh my God, so cute. You're so cute.
Alright. That lets more people go by. We're starting to get more disturbance over here. Must have been a huge I don't know what that was. Probably a ponderosa pine back in the day. But start to see more sea houses. And here we go, Pacific dogwood. One of my previous clips, I was describing them being more upright than the creek dogwood. Well, there you have it. This is Cornus natalii. Gets real soft pastel colors. Sometimes they can be quite crimsony too. See a lot of poison oak leaves on the ground. Well, make sure that they don't rip up against any. Yeah, that is poison oak right there with the whitish berry-like fruit. That is poison oak. So if it's got red drupes and 3 leaflets, it's skunk brush, Rhus aromatica. Don't have to worry about that one unless you're severely allergic to any type of sumac. If it's got whitish berries, it's poison oak. Again, you saw that it didn't have leaves on it. So knowing what it looks like in winter is a very good idea, because it looks drastically different without leaves on it. Because in winter, it's deciduous. It's a winter deciduous shrub / vine. Feels like it's dripping a lot over here. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful. I do not want my camera getting all wet. Yeah, there's a crud load of poison oak here. It's growing up into the trees because poison oak is either a shrub or a vine, depending on where it's growing. It takes a lot of vine forms in deeply wooded and forested areas. It can still be shrubby, but here it is right here. Again, like skunk brush, it has a beautiful fall color. That's it right there, western poison oak, Toxicodendron diversilobum. But once those leaves fall off, you basically gotta watch out for any leafless twig that sticks out over the path, because it could potentially be a poison oak. Because for a few months out of the year, there are no leaves on it. But again, it has an extremely beautiful fall color, like skunk brush. So, well, it's not a plant you want to hang around and touch. It's definitely one to look at. You see, there's poison oak in fall color right there. Actually, a lot of those little seedlings I saw pointing them out as white fir, some of those were incense-cedars. See, poison oak can even get scarlet colors. And it's actually growing onto the trail a little bit here, so watch out. It's growing very close to the trail. So watch where you step. We're below 5,000 feet, so you're going to expect to see poison oak. But I've seen it as high as nearly 5,400 feet here in the state park, actually, along the way up to on the road up to Booker Hill. Fire lookout. Seen poison oak above 5,200 feet between Silvercrest and Booker Hill lookout. So safest bet is likely below 5,500 feet for poison oak. Again, it's a very festive plant. It's a beautiful plant. So I do suggest taking time to admire it from a distance, because it is a very showy plant. Berries look neat. The leaves are cool looking. Its remarkable adaptability, again, is definitely worth thinking about and considering. And its variable growth habits and ecology. Like, it's pretty much taken over that poor white fir sapling. Do I ever plan on doing a spotlight, like a spotlight video on it? Yeah, potentially down the road. For not just for identification and avoidance, but also for appreciation, because it is a part of our natural landscape. It is a native plant, and while yes, it can be invasive, it's poison ivies and poison oaks can be very, very invasive in the sense of very prolific, very adaptable, and extremely persistent and hard to eradicate. They are a part of our natural ecosystem. So, like here in the wild, the only thing they really should be doing with poison oak is maybe just trimming it when it gets to the trail. That's about it. You gotta let it grow. Gotta let it grow. It's part of our ecosystem. Mountain lions, people get scared of them, and coyotes, they're all part of our ecosystem. Well, I think that's enough for this clip. I think I'm done blabbing for this clip, so battery's gonna die out, so I've worn out a lot of batteries today. So I've been shooting a lot of video, making up for all the times I never did. So keep going along this. I'll see you on my next clip pretty soon.